Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to part 2 of my review of Fright Night. Like I said, being one of my all-time favorite vampire films that I really do enjoy. Um, so later where I left off, after continuing on, Charlie goes to see Vincent Peter again. Back at his apartment, and he's getting ready to packing up his thing. He's getting ready to leave. But Charlie persuades him to go back to Jerry's house and get Amy. So as they go back to his house, and Jerry is at the top of the staircase, and Peter tries to use the cross again, but it doesn't work because Jerry tells him you got to have faith. So he crushes the cross, and he goes and runs to Charlie's house while Jerry's assistant or protector knocks him out. So Peter goes to Charlie's house to find Charlie's mother, but she's not there, and Evil Ed is there. And he goes and takes a form of a wolf. So um so he's about to attack Peter, and then Peter stabs the wolf with the stake, through the heart, and you see starts slowly crawling and transform back into Ed before he dies, you know. And it feels like kind of feels sorry for Ed. Look at how Ryan McDowell's face reaction. He's like after he died. He's like this. You know. But then he works with the courage to go takes the wind stake and goes back to the house. And it's like you see like goes back to the house. You see all this fog mist rolling off the house. And then Charlie gets thrown into the room where Amy's at. You see that she's turned into a vampire. And he's like, no. And then Jerry goes and smiles. You know. But then Roddy McDowell goes and tells Charlie that she can go back to normal if they kill Jerry before dawn. So and then Jerry's assistant, or like I said, or assistant or protector, it gets starts coming up the stairs, and Ryan McDowell's like, stop or I'll shoot. Shoots him in the head, falls on the stairs, but they assume he's dead though. But he still gets back up. Ryan McDowell shoots him a few more times, and then is about to grab him. Then Charlie stabs him with the wind stake into the heart. And as another good scene that I like, as the guy starts melting, with green goo, and then dust coming out and starts falling apart to bones. Real practical, goo and dust, real bones. That's what I like. Also, because it has some good old fashioned practical effects, which compared to the 2011 remake, where Colin Farrell, throwing CGI motorcycle to the windshield, or his death, a bloody CGI explosion, and stupid things, Just Chris Sarandon. Chris Sarandon is, or the other way around. Colin Farrell is nothing what Chris Sarandon did played as Jerry Dandridge. Nothing. Even the remake, Chris Sarandon has a cameo, and he gets killed by Colin Farrell. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, the new Jerry Dandridge kills the original Jerry Dandridge, even in a cameo. Stupid. But I was saying back when I was saying after they kill that guy. Peter goes to see Amy, and she's now a vampire. Fends her with a cross, and Jerry crashes through the window. And Peter goes to does the cross again, and this time it finally works. He finally has his faith and pushes back in. As the daylight goes, he's like, "You're out of time, Mr. Dandridge. Look over your shoulder. You are out of time, Mr. Dandridge." Yeah, it's like, Ryan McDowell, he did such a great job as, even though at first he had no faith, but then he goes and pushes the cross further, believing now. Roddy McDowell was we did an amazing job as Peter Vincent. And then within sunlight, a stream of sunlight hits Jerry, then goes into his bat form, a real practical looking bat, you know. Then fights Roddy McDowell. He's like holding him here, you know. And then puts the bat into the sunlight, burns him, and then flies into the basement. So they go down to the basement and Peter finds his coffin. You know, he's in his coffin, and then Amy it goes down there. You know, and Peter Charlie shows across from her again. And she covers her face like this. You know, and that's when you get that which is also on this face here on the cover though. That face there on the cover, but also this is the photo I got of her when I, which that face that face I just thought was like really creepy looking. Amanda Bearse did a really creepy looking vampire face, you know, which I think out of all the vampire films, you know, this is like more of the creepier looking vampire faces, and Amanda Bearse was really superb, you know, looking like that, you know, good makeup effects, you know. And she starts attacking Jerry, you know. Charlie. That was my mistake, you know. She starts attacking Charlie, and Roddy McDowell attempts to put the stake into Jerry's heart as he's laying in the coffin, you know. And he like rises up out of his coffin, attacks Roddy McDowell, you know. And Charlie starts throwing all objects off all the windows that Jerry had blacked out, you know, from the sunlight. You know, starts knocking all the windows down. So is Roddy McDowell blocking all the windows up for the sunlight to come in, and it's a burning. Jerry gets burned. See the skeleton, and then also just disappears. And then Amy returns back to normal, and then like the next night or so, you know, Charlie and Amanda are in Charlie's room, you know, and on the TV, you know, is Peter Vincent's like welcome to Fright Night. I thought I'd get that this time. I give the vampires a rest for a while, right, Charlie, you know, gives a wink on the TV, you know. So that's how he goes. Says instead of vampires, goes to like, it's not just from beyond the grave. It's what's from beyond the stars, you know, aliens. And as Charlie turns off the TV, he looks at the black window from next door, you know, sees a pair of red eyes, and Amy's like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Nothing." And then you see the red eyes again, and then you hear Evil Ed's laughing. I was like, oh, you're so cool, Brewster. So I think thought he was dead. You thought he was dead, but he's really not. You hear him laughing, you know. So I love Fright Night, you know. It's a good, really old, to me, it makes it like a good nod to an old-fashioned vampire film, though. Because, you know, Chris Sarandon, great job as Jerry. William Ragsdale was also good as Charlie Bruce, you know, trying to persuade, you know, everyone that there's a vampire living next door to him, you know, fighting, you know, does his we can to get Amy back, you know. Roddy McDowell, outstanding as Peter Vincent, you know. I really love Roddy McDowell, and Amanda Bearse, she was really good. You know, I'm glad I met Amanda Bearse. You know, got her autograph, and like I said, how she was looking at that, like looking at as that vampire. Really well done makeup effects. You know, really well done. Because she with that vampire face, you know, she was really creepy. You know. And that's why I said to her, she's like, "Oh, thank you very much," you know. So I'm glad I met her, you know, glad autographing, especially with that photo, because that was like really creepy photo of her with as a real looking vampire with the excellent makeup effects, you know. So yeah, so and I also like the score by Bradford Dell, really well done score. This is on for a 106 minutes, but it didn't drag on. It went at a decent pace, you know. Directed by Tom Holland. This and Child's Play. I don't know which one do you consider is better film. This or it's hard to tell, because I like both films. So yeah, that's my review for Fright Night. This is definitely gonna be I would probably say is my all-time favorite vampire film. Because there's other ones I really enjoy. Like I said, when I said my top three, I would probably put this film. I would say then Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys, and of course Robert Rodriguez's From Dusk Till Dawn. Um, like I said, of course I'm glad this has higher ratings than the remake. The remake can kiss my ass. You know, this totally sucks a whole bunch. So like I said, yeah, the remake can go. I could. Well, it's a good thing I don't have it, because if I did, I would fling it across my room like a frisbee. I'm never gonna own that film. So yeah, but I'm just good as just watch the original instead. And I know there are people who like the remake. Of course, that's why I got the pass. But even if you still haven't seen Fright Night, even before seeing the remake, if anyone has seen the original Fright Night, give it a look, like or dislike it. It's your opinion, and of course, but I don't want to say so. So that's my review for Fright Night. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.